Hey y'all, welcome to the Carlotta Chatwood Show. I am Carlotta. You know what? I don't know, it's really not the Carlotta Chatwood Show right now. Oh God. But I'm coming on giving you guys like updates and stuff like that because I'm in the midst of changing things, but at the same time I'm going to school, so I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm taking my time with it. So, but I'm still gonna try to come on and update y'all. Y'all know how I be doing, okay? So this is how it's gonna go. So I hope you guys will enjoy the show, update you guys on a little bit of different uh what is it we got going on? Different top topics and things like that. Okay. So my week. Okay, man, so many great things. I went to I thought I was very nervous about this class I had. Okay. Playwright, right? A playwriting class. I was so nervous. But I went into class. Listen, to top it off, I was late to class. Oh God. Everything that could go crazy that day went crazy. Okay. Went berserk. And so I was still crowd tired from Chris Brown. I would see Chris Brown Tuesday night. I was just still still tired from hanging out the young people. And then I had a lot of other stuff to do, a lot of stuff to catch up on and stuff like that. So Saturday, this class, I was rushing. And had everything. It was just crazy. Okay. Oh my gosh. I get into class. The teacher's like, yo, yeah, sign the paper. I want you to get your credit and stuff. So, but when I look, this teacher that I have, he's got this long gray hair, uh, older, handsome, long, gray kind of handsome rocker guy, like you would expect from like an 80s band. He's got all these bracelets on, like these black bracelets and this like totally like dope ring, like kind of crazy ring. I mean, the class is full. It is like I sit up in the front row. I mean, it was the coolest class I've had in a long time. I was like, this shit he made me forget how well I write. And so, I mean, he made me not forget. So I said that wrong. He made me remember how well I write. I just enjoyed it. I had so much fun. I didn't know because it's a long class. It's long as fuck. We only meet like 5 or 6 times, but it's long as fuck. I'm telling you, it's from like 12 to 5. We got out a little early. But listen, I didn't even notice the time. I had such a freaking great time. I did. It was great, man. I am so enjoying. I'm like, God, I'm enjoying stuff so much right now, even though I'm going through some other things in my life, right? You know what I'm saying? Little different things going on, but I'm enjoying this. I can't even explain it. I'm having such a great time. This is great. Okay, so yeah, so it was good, and then okay, you guys. So you guys are like, oh, what's next, Carlotta? I'm going to Maxwell Cruise. Yes, I booked this week. I'm so excited. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, whatever. Is I really going? Yes, it looks like it. I'm booked. I'm excited. I'm excited. Really, I am. I like asking people that I know that went on a cruise and stuff. Hey, like, what should I do? How should I dress? How should I be? They were telling me different things. I've never been on a cruise, so it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I am so excited. I have a roommate, and we have a nice room. I'm excited. And my roommate is a friend I've made from my Maxwell shows and internet, and we've talked. She's been here, she's met my family. We've been around each other. We talk stuff like that. So I'm excited to. I think it's going to be awesome, and we're going to have a great time. So, yeah. So I'm very excited. And then, I have Vegas Maxwell. So it's Maxwell's last serenade. I think it's the last one for serenade tour is October 20th. That's my birthday. My birthday is November 1st, but I catch a Maxwell show if it's in October for my birthday. So I'm doing Maxwell for then. and I'm so excited. I was like, I'm trying to figure out my outfit for Vegas. I'm going back and forth. I have this beautiful gold dress, like it has a lot of shingles. I wore shingles before, but I'm thinking I could do that again. I may do that, or I have this beautiful suit. It is so cute. Wait, I can't tell you. It's a gold suit that's very beautiful. But then I was like, I wore a suit last time. You know what I'm saying? I was in St. Louis. But then there's this really cute, sexy number that's like a suit and it's see-through at the bottom. Oh my God, it's so freaking cute and sexy. And it says Vegas, it's Vegas, Vegas. So I think that is what, child, if I wear that, listen here. Okay, it's gonna be October, but it's definitely gonna be Scorpio season. Okay, the Scorpio gonna be bringing the thing. I love it. I love, and it's black. You know what I'm saying? Because I love me some black. Nothing says Scorpio season like black. So I'm excited. I'm really, yeah. So all these things I got coming. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going on a cruise. And my friend is like, one of my friends is like, oh my God, what are we gonna have to do? You're gonna be on a cruise 5 days. How many days? I think he's only performing once on this cruise, and they're like, "Do you need to perform more?" I'm like, no, but I do need to feel like it's your cruise because I'm gonna talk shit if it's not. My Virgo moon is gonna talk shit if I don't see, because I've heard Maxwell gives like his name is on the cruise, but he's not, like he only performs. Like he doesn't seem like he's around. That's what somebody, well, no, not somebody. It was a lot of people. I asked people, I told you I had more than 10 people tell me this, okay? That he seems a little detached. So I hope he's attached this time. I'm gonna be excited if he is. Okay. So, but I'm still gonna be excited if he's not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like fucking like it's my first cruise. So I'm excited. And okay, it's my first like trip like to the like I'm going to Dominican Republic. That's gonna be so cool. Like, okay, just even, just to get away and out and on the sea. It's gonna be fun for me. It's a first. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Okay. And then I think there's the Bahamas. It's like they're private. They have some sort of private island Bahamas thing. I don't know shit. Okay. But I'm excited, and I'm excited to be sharing the moment with my Maxwell friend. And it's so cool because me and her hit it off so great. She came to Kansas City. We had already known each other from the internet. She came to Kansas City for a show. And after the next day, we went out to eat. Her and one of my other girlfriends went out to eat. We had a blast. We laughed. We kiki. She came and met my family. We kiki. Everybody was laughing. She's just a nice person. Just great. Brought me gifts, honey. I love somebody bring me some gifts. And then she came for St. Louis show. For Oklahoma show. She has relatives that live in Texas where I'm at. And so she came, she stayed in Winter, and we met up. We went to dinner and we had a great time again. We went to Oklahoma and had dinner in Oklahoma for Maxwell and just had a blast with each other. Then we went to New Orleans for Essence Fest, and we met up for Maxwell. She didn't know Maxwell was having like a during the day like talk with she's like, oh my God, I would have done. So we met up and we did that, and then we met up at the concert that night and stuff like that. So it was a bit of a Maxwell thing for us. So it's fun, and we really gotten to know each other. I'm excited, and we talk and we text and we everything. We talk on the phone. She's a great girl lady, so I am excited about the whole trip. Okay, and she understands my Maxwell obsession, whereas my friends are like, oh God, my God. They're all like, are we gonna have pictures? Like, we're gonna have cruise ship pictures, postcards. I'm like, no, that's just a cruise ship. Are we gonna get sent out urban hang suite? I'm like, no, you're not. But you might perhaps get another meet and greet picture. They're like, oh my God, no more meet and greet. Last year they got posters. But one of my friends, she actually she had it up. She had it in a frame. I was like, look at you. This is wonderful. And my two of my bestie girlfriends, we meet up every year at Christmas together. They have their coffee mugs at work. And they're like, who's that on your coffee mug? I got a crazy friend. I'm like, as long as the coffee mugs are going to good use. So this year I was like, what am I doing? Maybe I should put on there, my funny fun quote from Maxwell, even though I had to go get a physical and everything to check myself out because Maxwell said he hurt my heart. And I was like, oh shit, what's that mean? I was like, my heart's beating. You might have been right. But I had so I'm like, maybe that's the saying I should have on your new cups. Or maybe, I don't know if we should do coffee mugs this year or something so that like maybe like frozen drink, thing you can take in the summer or something with a picture of that. My meet and greet, and he hurt my heart. They would be like, this motherfucker's losing her mind. We're not gonna put up with this. I've had an intervention. They've given me an intervention. I was like, what's the intervention? I don't know what the intervention is for, but we've had one. Okay. They go to the shows and they seem to lose. Like last time my hood girlfriend goes to the one, she's giddy about them afterwards. I'm like, see, wait a minute, you're supposed to be intervening. Girl, that was fun. I'm like, you're no good. My other friend's like, you're supposed to be trying to talk her, and this is supposed to be the last of us putting our foot down. But now they're all like, you found another person. I found a lot of persons. I have a lot of Maxwell girlfriends. I think they're great. And then when I start leaving them, they are like, she's serious about this. She's a real trooper with this Maxwell thing. But yeah, so the cruise is going to be one of quite something. I'm like, bitch, you're going on a cruise? Yes. I'm going on a cruise. Leave me alone. Don't judge me. Other people on that cruise. Kim is there. Kim, you know how much I love Ellie Warner. I love me some Lucky Tate. I love Lucky Tate. And you know how I feel about the Isley brothers, okay? Like, girl, if you don't stop. But it should be fun. I'm excited about it, okay? So, yeah, and then what else is new? Oh, and then one of my besties, she's coming for the Vegas show. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So fun. Vegas. It's gonna be fun. Vegas should be memorable. Vegas is always memorable for me. I love Vegas, so yeah. All right, so you guys, now you've heard about my Maxwell little stories and my school story and everything. Do I have an It's a Word this week? No, because I think this show, because I'm giving opinions about different things, I think it is like a freaking It's a Word. I just think it is. So I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to come back really, and we're going to get into these hot topics because, baby, y'all mad at Aisha Curry, and I can't let y'all do Aisha like that. I love me some Aisha Curry, and I'll tell y'all why. Because somebody said Savannah, and I like Savannah, okay? Savannah is a national treasure, but I think because she's quiet. But Savannah had a podcast that a lot of y'all didn't know about, okay? And I'm going to have to tell you, I don't know if LeBron cut it out. Is it still going? And also, the very thing that you red pill guys are telling, I'm not saying, I think I like some of the red pills, I like some of the women red pill. So I don't feel like anybody's right in any, everybody, somewhere people need to meet middle ground. But some of the things that the red pill guys talked about that they don't like, so sometimes they say single mothers and stuff like that. Well, Savannah, LeBron's wife, was single. She was a single mother. LeBron hadn't married her. Those kids were like 7 or 8 before he married her. 6 or 7. The two boys. Oh God, stop it. And then y'all make it mean, y'all mean to Aisha Curry, who's your dream, who was probably Virgin Mary when she got married because they were both in the Christian church. They didn't want anybody else. Even Gabrielle Union and was trying to talk them out of it. Like, y'all better do something with some other people. Look at that Scorpio. Remember she talked about that on one of her shows, was talking about she tried to talk to them, like, because they've been knowing each other for years. And she was like, well, y'all don't know, y'all ain't never did what? Y'all ain't mess with no other people. So Aisha's y'all is the dream red pill girl, okay? But you guys don't like what Aisha says, okay? So we're gonna talk about that when I get back. Just give me a moment to take a quick break, and I'll be back after this, okay, y'all? All right, you guys. I forgot to put the Be Right Back sign up. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so we're talking about hot topics this week. Let's start off with Aisha Curry. Let's just go for the gusto, okay? Let's go for it. Y'all is hot out here. Y'all find always a reason to get mad at Aisha. I find Aisha very compelling. I think that a lot of people like to see, they like to have this idea that women are perfection, or men are perfection, and none of us are perfect. Nobody. There's not one red pill guys. If you get married to another girl and you find the perfect girl, she's not going to be perfect. There is nothing, you're never perfect. Same thing for women who are looking for the rich guy, high value man, hypergamous, whatever. This the same. No one is going to be a perfect human. Now, there are certain things you don't want no crap, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And people, it it's something to me when you have compelling people who are willing to be vulnerable and tell their truth and talk about their life. Even though y'all hate uh, Jada, there's a lot of things I loved about Jada telling her truth, because there are a lot of women who secretly have issues that Jada has, that don't say that, and you're not knowing it. Even Polly Purebred, who's in the house who you think is a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They might even have crazy thoughts or anything. So, I just feel like there's a place for everyone, and it shouldn't be. I'm starting to think that the internet has become Oh, all of us, everybody's a guru. Everybody thinks they know it. Everybody thinks they know it all. I'm just telling you guys, I give y'all my opinions of what I think. It's not 100% of anything. I'm not a guru. I'm not a just I just tell y'all what I think from my life experiences. I could be wrong from person to person. It changes. This is how things go, okay? It just changes, all right? But I want to tell you guys this, okay? Let me say this about arranged marriages because I'm going somewhere with this, okay? I'm going to talk about arranged marriages, okay? Arranged marriages are often set up by parents in different cultures asking for usually a dowry to marry their daughter. Or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But one of the things people don't know about arranged marriages is that arranged marriages, I'm not saying I'm for arranged marriages either, but I'm just saying arranged marriages often exhibit higher stability and longevity due to several factors. And they say cultural support, share the values and goals, because a lot of times they inter-religion marry, inter-race marry, you know, it's a family involvement, lower expectations. Arranged marriages may come with more realistic expectations about love and partnership, focusing on companionship and mutual respect rather than romantic ideas. This pragmatic approach can lead to greater satisfaction over time. Commitment to work through challenges, okay, because they're not in it really just basically only for just love. They're also in it for there's a number of things going on in arranged marriages, okay. Couples in arranged marriages may feel stronger obligation to work through difficulties, viewing the marriage as a long-term commitment rather than a temporary arrangement. The mindset can contribute to resilience in the face of challenges. Okay, research indicates that arranged marriages can have lower divorce rates compared to love marriages, although individual experiences vary widely. Factors such as personal compatibility, communication skills, and mutual respect also play crucial roles in the success of any marriage. Okay, now I picked arranged marriages for a reason, because arranged marriages often don't start off with people who have passion for each other or extra sex drive or extra. And I'm not saying that shit ain't important, okay? No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving this as an example that there are lasting marriages that don't have all the components of what people would consider uh the sexy marriages, right? And there's a lot of sexy marriages that don't last, okay? So I want to say this into where I'm going with this talk about Aisha Curry, okay? She said something this week she was on Ask a Black Man. Aisha Curry says Steph Curry wasn't her type and didn't look at him that way in high school. Socials are asking, why do women often say this about their husbands? And this is from Ask a Black Man. Okay, so let me just say this. Women don't just say that. Women say this about, I think women, first of all, like people say, people ask me, Carlotta, did you have? I've never had a type. If you looked at my dating history, I never had a type. I've never had a, my type has varied. I'm gonna tell you what I like. I like people who are different. I like people who are unique. I like people who are smart. I like people who are driven, who have some forms of ambition, persistence. My friends would probably say that if there was a type, that's the type. I mean, and those come in various forms and various looks and various eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been. I'm attracted to. Uh, I don't know if I can say, am I a mind person? Maybe I like I'm very attracted to the mind. I mean, there are like, I do have outer attract, like I'm attracted to uh like, Denzel. I'm attracted to Lenny Kravitz. I'm attracted if to give you guys a stable to things. But I didn't have a type. I I was attracted to people that I dated, and the man I married, I was attracted to. So I didn't, I was, and when I was refusing to date him, is because we were friends for a very long time, and also one of the things was also there were just little crazy things. There was some a lot of, but yeah, but at the same time, um, yeah, I never had a type, so I'm not. I don't know if my friends would say differently. They probably say, "Yeah, you hit it, ambitious." Like, yeah, I think that you have to be certain things. Okay, um, and I like that because all those things help, and why I like that is because I like thinkers and stuff like that. I like people who are just different. I, just even just friendships, everything. Okay. Uh, so when Aisha says it wasn't her type, now when I was younger, if you're talking about what was my type as a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, when I was lacking maturity, uh, mm, I don't know. I was always pretty quirky. My friends would always be surprised by the guy I like. I dated my for people. All my friends knew who my first love. I had a boyfriend who was very popular. He was a basketball star, everything like that, and all my friends knew. Thought that was my first love, except for one of my closest friends, who's like a sister to me. And so we were all out one night, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we all know who your first love." Just they said, we were all talking, and my closest friend says, "No, that was not." And I said, looked at her, she says, "You know who it was." I had been crushing on this guy from the 7th grade till I was in the 11th grade. She's the only person that knew it, and really I thought, or I had this first love, and it was a true first love, little puppy love experience. It was not a fake one, but the undertones of why I like this other guy was so much different. It's probably more likely who I am as a person. I liked him because he he was very different, dressed very well, always musically inclined, which I like. I love because my family's into music and stuff like that. There were so many very smart, though, but no one knew it. But this one friend, and so all my friends are going, "Oh yes, that's true." And I was like, "It's like, why didn't you?" And what one of the reasons I said that I did not date this person, and he was the better choice was the other guy, the like in the picture of how people would say popular, not popular, or something. The better choice was probably the what people would say was the I had the great guy who was popular and everything like that. People probably say, "Oh, she made a great." That's the guy she was really, but really, as I get older and I realize I really was digging the other person because from a factor of that they have a lot. They had so much in common with me. Their conversation was so much different with me, and everything. I never really dated this person, but that was kind of really more probably the speed of something I would like, right? You know what I'm saying? At that time in my life or my age or whatever. But I was dating a completely opposite thing. And I think that happens. I think women, here's the thing. I think women are pressured, have so many pressures in society to get married real fast. So women sometimes um the desire to not know to know to to get married sometimes outweighs the desire to know oneself. And it's what that lady was saying last week. I played that lady who said, "Don't desire to get married, desire to know yourself better, desire to be this and that." Excuse me. And those are things to me and qualities that will make you a great partner for somebody or a great wife for somebody. Or even if it doesn't work out in a marriage and you're marrying a second time or a third, this was hopefully not third time, but you're married, you know what I'm saying? And it will help you be a great partner to a person. It's knowing yourself. That is really the most important thing. And I think so many women haven't had those opportunities. Women are complex, no matter what they are. Can I say that? No matter what she's probably purebred, red pill that you love. She's still complex. Even if she gives you a version of herself, there's probably several versions under that. And maybe some of them she's hiding, right? You know what I'm saying? But there's a complexity to women. And I think it's important for women to go on the journey of knowing yourself. And that makes you much better to pick a spouse. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this with Aisha. I think Aisha said, hey, at one point in my life, that was a choice. Listen, most people would look at Aisha and say, shit, you made a good choice. Most men who are, I would think red pill guys would be happy about her choice. She picked the guy who was obviously a winner, and he went after being a winner. So let's play a little bit of this so you guys can hear what she had to say, okay? Mm.
Did not sign up for that. I also always thought, like, I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. Like, he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. Like, I thought I was going to be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know
that you're like, maybe there was something, or
no, never. I in the beginning hated it so much. I like did not sign up for that. I also always thought, like, I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. Like, he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. Like, I thought I was going to be like the
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see. Is that all they have?
girl out there getting it. So I didn't know
that you're like, maybe there was.
Okay, let me see if we got the other part of it, you guys. Let me put I hate when they do this. Hold on just a second here. We'll find it. Okay.
Thank you so much, MTV, for giving me the Vanguard Award. I can't believe.
Let's see, you guys, if we can find it. Okay. Okay, y'all saying Mariah Carey shouldn't have won the award, the MTV Classic Hits tonight. Mariah Carey can win every damn thing she wants to. Mariah Carey doesn't run. Listen, Mariah Carey is an old school legend. This guy, she done paid her dues. Okay, she can walk up there and win something. For that's meant to, that y'all think is hot popping right now. She can totally run away with it. So yeah, they owe her. I think she's never won a VMA, so that's crazy. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. Okay, do we not have it here? I'm thinking I have the video, guys. Okay, here we are. You got.
it was going to be a thing. I
You
thought
weren't
we
a
would
friend
be
group.
friends. Yeah.
Did you ever have anything in high school at all, or it was legit just friends?
No, just friends. Just friends. Yeah.
I get what you're saying of like you never saw him as something, but I'm
Yeah.
like, when you look back, is there any memory that you're like, maybe there was?
I just never thought that he would like someone like me. I just didn't think it was going to be a thing. I
you
thought
weren't a
we would
friend
be
group.
friends. Yeah.
Did you something or no?
No, never. I in the beginning hated it so much. I like did not sign up for that. I also always thought like I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. Like
Yeah, and if you okay, so that's what's out there. Okay, so listen, if you heard the story of Aisha Curry and uh him, you know that she had already left. She had left. They were great friends. Okay. And let me tell you something about this, a little secret about this, guys. And some men can attest to this. I remember I was in high school. I was dating, I was I was dating, and I had this really good guy friend that I really thought I thought he was a handsome guy, but we end up just really being friends. But we would hang out at each other's place all the time. He was really great. He was really cool. And I remember when we got older in our 20s, and he told me a story. He said, "Do you know the reason that I got my driver's license was so I could take you out on a date?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, because I didn't think you would date any guy without a driver's license. Please, that basketball. I mean, he was driving, but he didn't drive in a car. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I wasn't like that. I mean, so all of the things that people thought I wasn't. So I get what Aisha Curry is saying about herself. She's saying she just never saw herself dating Steph. Steph wanted to be a basketball star. Aisha was hoping to be an actress. She had moved out to LA, already working on that. And here's the thing, but what I told you that story about that friend of mine is because I inspired him to get his. He said I wouldn't have had that inspiration if you wouldn't there as a target for me, right? So sometimes men, you don't know what Steph had always said he had a big crush on Aisha. You don't know what he thought he was going to be a high school basketball coach until he was like, I'm gunning for a girl like Aisha Curry, and a girl like Aisha Curry, in my opinion, Aisha, whatever her name was at that time, it's not, I can't be the guy I am at this time and get her. I got to be something else. If I ain't something else, it ain't gonna pull her up off of where she's trying to go. Okay, I gotta show her that I got her. And I really think y'all mistaken in this. He wasn't my type and all this stuff like that. And if he wasn't, I played that thing about arranged marriages and other things, because sometimes people get into relationships. People have all kind of vested interests and reasons for being married. Now, are they always what I think are good? No. But sometimes they are what keep people together, and they sometimes are arranged. Sometimes love isn't at the forefront of marriage. Or not love, it's a love there, but it's a love that you guys are not interested in knowing. It's a love that comes about because of maybe a friendship, or a love that comes about, it's not overly romantic, or it's not overly passionate, it's not overly, this and that, this or that. And a lot of women, what happens with a lot of women in relationships is that guy that you're hearing a lot of women talk about on the internet, say, oh, I was into this kind of guy, this bad boy guy, and he wasn't as good of a catch as I thought he was. That's what some women start realizing as they mature at a certain age. It's not because they just start to find him unattractive. As they get older, women start to say, okay, so I'm 25 now, I'm 26, I'm not interested in chasing you around. I want to have children. I want to be married. Isn't this what you guys came at the red pill stuff y'all want? So they make smart choices. They make choices towards men that maybe they wouldn't have had as much. They open themselves up to dating men who are willing to be loyal and willing to be kind, willing to do the work of a relationship. Even if that person, they was hoping to have it with someone they thought was the one. It happens. And it's the same thing for men. It doesn't mean you're unattractive as a male. It doesn't mean you're not liked as a male. Same thing for women. It's nothing personal. Sometimes men like the party girl. They like, hey, I was into the party girl, the girl that's, running around in these streets and doing whatever. And I used to think it was bad for men and women to say this, but now I'm not so sure, because I think people have a right to maturity. Now you have to be careful if they're still wanting, they still have a desire for certain things or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's in conversation and everything like that. But often people change. Now there's a wonderful story right now I tell people about. It's kind of a cheesy story called Sex Life that's on I think Netflix, and it's about a woman who decides at some point in her life. It is a crazy show. It is not politically correct. It reminds me of The Dollhouse that was written very years ago by Ibsen Henrik, very many in the 1800s. The Dollhouse was so shocking because the woman in the end chose to leave her family and her husband and everything like this. It's just the Dollhouse is a wild story. Okay. I would say a Sex Life is sort of like the new version in some ways, in a weird way, of kind of, it's nothing like it, but kind of like Dollhouse. Okay. So there's this woman, and it was number one. Can I tell you, it was number one when it was out for weeks and months on Netflix. Months. People are still asking if they are having a third season. That's how popular this was. Okay. So what it tells you is there's a lot of women that we have some relatability or something to that story. Okay. But Sex Life is about, this is a woman. She was in a relationship with a man who was a producer. He was very famous, had it going on, good looking guy, everything. And they were in love with each other, but he was a man child. He was a hoe. He couldn't stop putting his dick in, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't stop doing what he was doing. He didn't want to grow up. He didn't want to this and that. He didn't want to do this. She had been pregnant, lost her baby, all kinds of things had happened. And yet he was still dealing with his childhood trauma as a grown ass man. And she was just like, I can't deal with this shit. Okay. And so she breaks up. And she ends up, getting going, finishing up school. She's a professor and everything. She ends up meeting this later, like a few years later, couple years later, this very nice guy, a businessman, got it going on, kind, all these things and everything. And they get married. They have 2 children. Okay. Everything looks perfect on the surface. But she finds herself longing for the person that she used to be. Okay. And so this is what the story becomes, because then it becomes about choices. Then the old boyfriend shows up, this time wanting to make up for what he should have done in the first place. And the question becomes, for a woman, which is hard for women to have those questions in society, right? And men too, is, do I want, is it the old me valid still? Is the new me valid? It's all these questions. It's such a complex story, but it's one that's very good. Okay. Very good. But it begins for women to ask themselves questions about choices in their life and how they got there. How did they make the choices? Did she settle? Did she not settle? Did she this and that? And it goes through it's a very surprising script. I think that a lot of women would be shocked by, some women would be offended by, some women wouldn't be, but it's a very interesting story. And it shows that women's journey to marriage, to love, to relationships, some end up perfect, like a perfect world. Some are different. Some people have different journeys, different stories. And I think that when men hear people like Aisha, they want Aisha Curry to come out and say, oh So Steph was it for the. She be lying. She said, "Hey, I didn't even know we liked each other. I didn't even know he liked me like that until I think he came knocking at her door, and he was like, "Yo, I want to take you out. I'm playing ball." And she like, "What?" But he had suddenly become in a range of what she liked, and I think that started off the dating thing, and it was a good ass choice. They got like 5 kids, 5 kids, don't they? They got a lot. Now, how it shows up, how it goes in during the growing years, and 20 years from now, you hope they stay together or anything. But I think that this is a guy that she thought that at some point was not in her radar, but then she sees a guy who's on her radar. So I mean, suddenly the guy becomes on her radar. He's doing great things with his life, which shows you he's not no slouch. He about his business. He ain't just want to be a high school coach like he told you, but he's got nothing. That's nothing wrong with high school coaches. That's not what I'm saying. But he's got greater ambition than you even have. Okay. And possibly she was the muse for that. I don't know. Okay. So, I think I'm saying that marriage, love, relationships, even with this show I just showed you, all take really different turns and twists. The reasons we make choices, the reasons we do things, or the reasons things happen, reason this goes this or this. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for people, and we don't have all the questions. And I think it's kind of wrong to diss this woman for making a great ass choice that most women wouldn't have turned down. Okay, let me tell you something there right now. Steph was a great ass choice. Now, if later in her life her and Steph decide they go in 2 different places, I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, they got a beautiful family, and he's got a woman. She's an Aries. She gonna speak her mind. Okay, so that's who she is, and she's all the things that you red pill guys talk about. I think I think her and Steph had only been together. She wasn't out there running around with a bunch of guys. She was actually trying to be an actress. And Steph shows up on her doorstep. She had already done some shows. She had done some Nickelodeon shows and everything like that. And Steph was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get the girl I like, so I gotta impress her with the NBA," which most men like to impress you with their shit. They do. I remember one time when I was dating, this guy kept trying to show me his little Rolex. I was like, "Look at this, it's cute." I got look at it. I'm balling. So like, I see your little Rolex. You know what I'm saying? Trying to show off his little. At the time, our body was here, right? At the time, years ago, and he had like a little tailor. I was like, "Oh, okay, you trying to show your shit." You know what I'm saying? Pop your collar, okay? So so yeah. So I think that men use the things that they build, the life they build, sometimes to get the woman they want. And sometimes that woman wasn't interested in the things women find interest is one of the things that's it's an aphrodisiac for a man to be successful and to doing what he loves or doing what he likes. There's nothing wrong with a woman finding that attractive where they didn't find him attractive before. Maybe he didn't. Like she said, he was the popular guy in church. I think she says she has a lot that she says about him in other videos, but she had no clue this guy had it in him to be an NBA, the star of the NBA. And I tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell y'all facts. Okay. I don't think he would have did it without Aisha being. I don't think Steph would have became what he became without Aisha, because Aisha is like that fire. If you ever, he said his mama was a lot of the fire for his balling and stuff like that. He said he was a pro basketball player, but his mom would be at the games and all this stuff. Aisha is very fiery like that too. There at his games, cheering him on and stuff. And she wasn't a chick running the streets. She's only had kids with Steph. And she waited till she got married to get. Now, y'all talk about, I saw these little comments on here, and no offense to Savannah. This is Savannah. It's not to dog Savannah. But Savannah, y'all be forgetting Savannah wasn't married to. Y'all talking about Savannah is a national treasure because y'all think Savannah is like some sort of like red pill dream or something. But Savannah was not married to LeBron for many years. And she had 2 kids with him already before she married. Many years. Y'all know. Y'all acting like LeBron been married all that time. Y'all playing. No offense to Savannah. It's not the dog Savannah, okay? Everybody got their different stories. But these just be all this alleged red pill pressure on Aisha, and she's the dream. She's the dream. She wasn't running around with a bunch of men. She was doing her thing, has her in her acting. And she got not only did she get married, but she had children with this man. Now she also talks about how those changes made her feel because she did it very young. Hey, sometimes I don't feel very attractive. I like to be attracted to other men. Men was like, oh, she want to be attractive. She want to be in the streets. No. Most men like other men to be attracted to their women. If you don't, then you'll be starting to be like, oh, okay. She wants to feel that she's attractive still. He gets all the attention from the NBA. He's got tons of women. Well, all he needs he could have picked. She needs is his attention. But she was being very honest and very vulnerable in a moment of talk. Even if that meant that moment needed correction, she still was being vulnerable and telling her story. Doesn't mean she's a hoe. Doesn't mean she wants to go to the streets. She's just saying sometimes I want to feel attractive too. I want to know that I am okay. Steph gets everything. He gets that. He's a star. But I want to know that I'm attractive, not just being for my husband. You know what I'm saying? I want to know that my husband isn't kind of lying too. Because sometimes men, y'all know y'all do that. Sometimes men stay in these marriages with women they are not attracted to no more, don't like, and be out in these streets. Okay, and you will be at home married to poly purebred who don't take care of herself no more. Down, and you be like, baby, that's all you gotta be is attracted to me. That's all you gotta be. And see, you are not really attracted to her. You just want to keep her at a certain point in a certain way while you run the streets. So Aisha, in my opinion, was saying, hey, I want to know that I still am doing, I can still not only catch my husband's eye, but I catch other people. You know what I'm saying? That I am an attractive person. I don't want to be going down or slacking or feeling less than or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she meant that she was trying to run the streets. Okay. And I do believe that Aisha, what I loved about Aisha is the vulnerability. And I think the vulnerability of saying, as a woman, yes, I'm married. Yes, I have 4 or 5 kids. But this is tough. And I miss some things about me. And every day maybe it's not going to always sound like I did the right thing. And that's hard for you guys because most women will tell you they will lie and say, yeah, I did the right. Whether they, you guys like to think women are like that. Women will lie, even when they sometimes, every day they don't feel like they did the right thing. I was listening to, I remember years ago, Oprah was interviewing Billy Graham's wife. And Billy Graham was going to come on next. And Billy Graham's wife was a hoot. She used to talk about how Billy Graham was at home a lot, so much so that the kids didn't recognize him sometimes when he would come in the door because he would be gone for so much on the road preaching and everything. And Oprah said, did you ever think about divorce or consider divorce? And she said, no, I never considered divorce, but I did consider homicide a few times. And And you know what I'm saying? And she began to talk about how tough sometimes it was to be married to this man. It doesn't mean that she didn't love it or didn't, but she's saying, hey, I had some down times. It's not always been great. Y'all just want people to get out here and like these are the things that help other women. We have the access to the internet. Aisha, believe it or not, is probably helping some other woman feel a lot better about how she feels, but she can't say how she feels because she don't want everybody blasting her. Okay, so it may help give some healing, some form of it's not just about feminism and she's for the streets and she wants and this and that. Aisha was never a street girl. She's been a church girl most of her life. And I'm not surprised that she is confused. Even if she is, let's say she is confused about Steph. Maybe she is questioning him. Did I make that right? He wasn't my type. Okay, she was a church girl. She's probably asking herself, like, wow, yes, I got this great life, but sometimes people question great lives. What they think is great lives. Maybe what you think should be great is not great. It's not what she feels like she should be doing or who she is. But one thing I would say about Aisha, of a lot of the NBA wives and stuff like that, where y'all like her or not, that system paved her own way with the cooking shows. And it's mostly because Steph has opened the door for her to pave her way. I remember Steph's mom was on. They were on Jada's Red Table Talk, which I love that show. And she was saying, Steph's mom was saying, I never had a chance. I always wanted to be independent, like in terms of doing something with what my husband, had. And she said, but I never could get there. She said she was looking at Aisha like Aisha has done that. Aisha has a great, like, I think 2 or 3 restaurants that are popular and the food is good. Aisha has wrote cookbooks. Okay, she's got like a name in her of herself. She is, even if it's controversial, I mean, Aisha has done some very powerful things with being Steph's wife. It's no different. She's been a Proverbs 31 girl. Proverbs 31 girl that is supposed to take that money and flip it. Do something, go out, make a business, make this and that. She's done that. So yeah, I can't get mad at Aisha Curry. I never, and y'all can be whatever y'all. I just think nobody's. I think everybody wants to get on Aisha. They try to put on Aisha something that really she's not. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But she has the right to question her life if she wants to a little bit, or talk about it in an interview. I think Steph doesn't have any problem with that about her. I think that's what he likes about her. Okay, here's her and do I see some problematic things there? I see problematic things everybody can have some problematic stuff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. All right. So no, I'm not. I don't feel bad about. I think this was a very interesting they have a beautiful family. I mean, she's got a lot of truth. They got a lot of family. They got a big old family. Okay. Um, okay, let me see. What do I want to share with y'all next? Okay. Y'all, so I'm trying to get the next one I don't want to talk to you guys about. Okay, let's talk about Nelly Furtado first. Okay, Nelly. Okay, Nelly Furtado is going viral, and this young lady, Rhea, the Last Dragon, is talking about it. But I just want to show you guys why Nelly Furtado is going viral. She's gotten a lot. Okay, yeah, Nelly Furtado as used to be a skinny girl. She's gotten very thick. I think it looks good on her. Okay, I think she looks she looks sexy thick. I mean, she's a sexy thick girl. Okay, and I'm sure I don't know what she wants, but she has 3 children. She's married. Lots of things have changed in her life, and she's out here and she's embracing her body and she's doing shows again and music and stuff like that. Why are y'all mad at Nelly Furtado? She can't stay. I mean, she should say that her body has had significant changes and uh, more power to her. I mean, she looks good. It really is kind of like she's a sexy thing. Like it's kind of curvy. Okay, so I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all get mad at some crazy stuff. I don't know what's going on right now. Did y'all see the picture? Did I put it up? Let me put it up of her. I don't know if I don't think did I say share it. Let me share it. Yes. Okay. This is her.
Is all natural, right? Besides some dental work, she hasn't had any major. Why would she look sight to see? Keep in mind, this woman is all natural. Instead of hating her body like y'all want her to do, she has embraced it, which is such a beautiful sight to see.
See, yeah, you can see. Not that thickums at all. You know what I'm saying? But she's very, very beautiful. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Let me tell you something. I am a plus size girl, and I myself am trying to. I'm in the middle of losing, but let me tell you something. Being plus size, I get pregnant all the time. Okay, it's just sometimes it's just how you proportioned and stuff like that. But yeah, I think she's beautiful, and maybe because there's parts of me that embrace who I am. I really embrace my body. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm in the midst of trying to lose, but I embrace that. So I love that. I love this for her. I think I think a lot of people was just shocked because Nelly Furtado was super, super skinny, and you haven't seen her in about 10, 15 years in the music business. So yeah, so very interesting. Okay. Go back here. Yeah. So we talked about that. We talked about Aisha. Okay. Let's talk about Tyrese. I said Tyrese is back with another interesting take. This one I can agree with to a point, but remember, wives are human. You at times have to be strong for yourself. Okay, so I always say
I want a wife that will know exactly what to say when I'm broken and I'm confused and I'm up and I'm on the brink of destruction and I woke up to we're about to lose it all. And yet the covering of my wife and what she's saying and what she's praying over me gives me a level of reassurance that we're going to be okay when the whole world is crumbling in on me. Some of these want to get married. You don't even know what to say when I'm up. So you just hear. This dress ain't gonna make me feel better. Your cleavage ain't gonna get me through that I'm dealing with right now. The jiggle and the wiggle ain't gonna fix none of this. The wiggle ain't gonna pay the mortgage unless we go on OnlyFans. You want it because it looks good. But what do you do with it?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
What do you do with it once you have it? I can't wait to get married. Do you even know what it is?
No, that's good. That's good.
I want to.
Tyrese is so emotional and dramatic. Okay, let's talk about it. I agree with Tyrese says to a point. Men are visual, first of all. I think men are inspired by the attractions to their wife. I believe that no matter what, even in older ages, if a man, if he's really, when a man cares and loves you, that the visual is always going to be, even as you get older and as you age, it's always going to be a memory in his head. It's always going to be something that draws him. Your eyes, those don't change. Your face may change over the years and stuff, but there's something girly still about you, or there's something this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe men are inspired by, sometimes they're not visuals the only thing, but some visual things. And Tyrese is right. your dress. If that the only thing you're depending on as a woman is how you look to keep these guys, well, yeah, like good luck with that. Okay, because there's a lot of good looking women out here, there's a lot of beautiful women out here. Okay, it has to be an inner standard in yourself, an inner power inside of you, an inner knowing of who you are. Okay, and that has to go beyond whether you're married or not. I always say, my friends always sometimes think I'm, they be like, you know, Carlotta, I mean, how would you feel if you had to get single at a certain time in my life? I said, I ain't never. First of all, no offense. This is no offense to nobody. Just saying, I am never scared in this. That I will feel fear, but I am never scared in this. That I am so grounded in who I am and who God has me to be, that I am not scared of. I have the feelings of fear, but I'm not scared if I would if I had to be single. That is just not my fear. It's just not. I mean, because I am grounded in me. uh do you have the fears of people being alone? So I understand that when women say, oh, you've been married a long time, why would you be but you can't be. I always tell women, because a lot of times what's happening with a lot of women today is they're just saying, well, I want to get married because I don't want to be alone and I don't want to grow old alone. I'm like, well, just because you're married doesn't mean you're guaranteed to grow old with someone. I just talked about I had a friend, I have a really good close friend of mine who lost her husband 4 years into her marriage. God forbid, most people will have the privilege to grow old with somebody, but sometimes at some points, maybe the wife dies, the husband dies, whatever, you are not guaranteed. So you have to be grounded in yourself. Or I've had people I've known and heard stories where men have walked in the door after 35 and 40 years, or women walked in the door and said, hey, I don't want this no more. So you have to know how to be grounded in that of yourself. You're going to have to know how to love and care and have something on the inside that's strong. And especially, my big thing to me, is you got to have that person that'll pray for you, that person that will hold you up, that person who will, those are just practices of theirs. You know what I'm saying? But also, I want to say that a wife will not always know the right things to say. That comes with being sometimes a strong man, even when you don't feel strong. I always go by the story of Job. The story of Job. Job had it bad, man. Job had it hard, man. Job lost his children, everything, like in a swipe. God just didn't say that. If you consider Job, Satan's like, hey, baby, you won't let me touch him. God, like, you touch him now. Oh my God, the devil in the Bible story could just destroys Job's life. He kills his children. He does everything till Job is left with almost nothing. And his wife loses this too at the same time. His wife, remember, people often don't have empathy for Job's wife. But I think people are not looking at themselves as humans. They're not looking at her from a human standpoint. But Job's wife becomes sort of a villain in the story. Job is crying out to God and everything, and Job's wife says, you should just curse God and die, I think. She says, that's what she says to him. Hold on, let me do this. Yeah, she says, yeah, she says to him when he's going when he's going through all kinds of trauma, and so is she. People are forgetting those were her children too. So she's at a point of weakness. And Job is, crying out, trying to praise God. And his wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die. I done lost my babies. I done seen my money gone. I done seen this. I done seen that." And Job has to find some strength from somewhere else. It's not that she wasn't. The Bible doesn't really give us a description of her, but she's having a moment with faith herself. And Job had to check her. He said, and Job took a piece of broken pottery to scrape himself as he sat among the ashes. When then Job says to his wife, because he's trying to get, trying to worship God, and she says, "You need to curse. Do you still retain your integrity? You still gonna praise God after all of this? All my babies just done got killed." When we look at the story like that, we like, there's a little empathy for her. And she said, "You should just curse God and die." He says, "You speak as a foolish woman. You speak as a foolish woman speaks," he told her. "Should we accept from God only good and not adversity?" In all this, Job did not sin in what he said, okay? So Job had the faith. He had to have the faith when his wife had really just fell out. She hadn't. So sometimes your world can be crumbling as men, and there will be times when your wife won't have the words to say, or maybe she will. Didn't mean that Job's wife wasn't a good woman or wasn't an upstanding woman, but she was placed in the middle of circumstances that were very heavy for her too. Nobody ever asked in the story, how did Job's wife feel about losing her children? Not only did he go through that adversity, she was going through it too. And sometimes you can have a praying wife or you can love God and everything, but something can hit somebody so much that they start talking foolish. They start talking crazy. So you're going to have that's what I say. You got to be who you are. So that's what I say with that. When I say about what Tyrese had to say, that I agree to a point. Yes, a wife won't always, sometimes they won't always have the right things to say to you, but that's why you have to be rooted and grounded in God and in yourself for yourself. People are not perfect. And sometimes they won't always. Now, hopefully you'll have, depends on what you're going through in life, that a wife that can remain conscious and say, "Hey, okay," can speak to you most of the time. But sometimes, not all the time, the best of people, okay? So, yeah. So that's what I want to say about that, all right? Next up, which is a very interesting little thing they've been having. All right, so you guys have this is a lot of relationship stuff going on this week. But this lady was a podcaster. This is from TashaK.com. It says, sparks debate on interracial dating. It says Black women date who accept them while men date who they accept. Okay, so let's listen to.
A Black woman dates outside of her race. She's dating the person who actually accepts her. When a Black man is dating outside of his race, he's dating who he accepts. So just keep that in mind and be very, very dubious of the Black men who love to falsely pander to Black women by making music and art, declaring Black women as goddesses and shea butter and melanin glistening and black girl magic, but your baby mom and the entirety of the dating history has been light-skinned women / mixed race, ambiguous, and I would even throw in white women in there. And that's another reason why desire is political, because politics is also a performance. Men can perform desire, right? And that's why Black women need to be more dubious of Black men, because there'll be Black men who will tell you what they think you want to hear. Oh, melanin princess. People must tell you that being dark skinned ain't attractive. I think your skin is so beautiful. They're hoping that you're insecure enough to be like, me? You find me beautiful despite my dark skin? Well, I'm falling in love with you. That's what they want. That's what they want to happen. But don't be scared of politics. Politics isn't something to be scared of. It's something you have to confront head on.
Hey, this is Chad, Van Horn Law Group. We are coming to you today to bust some common bankruptcy myths. We're going to give you a ton of information, and there's going to be many segments. Can't wait to do this. Let's start with a big myth. Bankruptcy will permanently destroy your credit. Not even close. Most of my clients get one of these.
Okay, that was on TashaK.com. Okay, so this woman is saying that, and let me go back. She said, hold on here.
When a black woman dates outside of her race, she's dating the person who actually accepts her. Now, when a black man is dating out,
she said when a black woman dates outside her race, she is dating the person who actually accepts her. When a black man dates outside his race, he's dating who he accepts. I disagree with all of that. Let me tell you why. Slavery. Especially American slavery, okay? How most of us get our light skin and this is different. We Black Americans are a biracial race, partly because a lot of white males had relationships, and even Native Americans, stuff like that, with Black Americans, okay? They had relationships and they weren't accepting of them. And just because a black man goes and picks a white woman doesn't mean that he's accepting of her either. So I totally disagree with that concept, okay? There can be a lot of reasons that people choose who they choose, and they have nothing to do with acceptance, okay? However, what she says about people pandering to Black women, there was this discussion this week. I listened to a discussion on a radio show. Not a radio show, but on YouTube. You're Triggered. I really like her. I listen to some of her things. I don't agree with everything she says, but I like some of the stuff, most of her commentary. Okay, but one of the things she talked about this week, she talked about Chris Brown, which was very, the troublesome aspects of Chris Brown and how Black women have brought Chris Brown back up to the forefront, and a lot of like the idea that Chris Brown doesn't usually, reflect that he likes Black women or stuff like that. I think you see that with a lot of people in the entertainment industry. I won't say everyone, but a lot of men in the entertainment industry. I don't know what it is about the entertainment industry. They tend to pick men who that industry, men and women, pick men and women. And that's not everybody. I'm not saying everybody in the industry. I'm saying it tends to lean towards picking people who may have great talent, but not healthy characteristics. They're severely damaged sometimes through childhood trauma and a lot of things they're working out through their talent. They're severely damaged with race, even Black people in thoughts of what's happening have some sort of racial rage and stuff like that. A lot of times the entertainment industry loves those types, okay? So it's not surprising to me when you have a lot of men and women who tend to cater to a Black audience, because that's who people will sell them to, and they learn the language and the vernacular and everything to keep this crowd, to sell to their customer, but they truly don't like their customer. Like, it's like when you're at a lot of Black people, and you know what? I will say this: growing up in Black neighborhoods, Black American neighborhoods, we often had this problem as Black people. We would go to grocery stores, hair places, like not hair salons, but hair places that sold hair products and everything, where people would not like us and we would generally tolerate it because these were the things that were available and they were tolerating us because they didn't like us, yeah, you know, us or something like that. And I think Black people in some way, especially Black American people, sense that rejection and it's familiar to them. And they will chase what doesn't like them or what doesn't care about them really. Because it is a familiar feeling or familiar environment in some ways. You know what I'm saying? That is not all Black people, but some a lot of Black Americans, and so I think this is the reason why we're so easy targets for. They've taught these. Like she said, you can perform desire. I totally agree with that. So you'll have a lot of people like, some people feel Chris Brown. You'll have people at concerts, and Chris Brown is making it specific to go. He has a very sexual energy at his shows with a dark-skinned woman who's his top dancer, and she's got short hair, natural hair. And I think that's because of all the things he's been getting, because Black women are seeing, hey, maybe he doesn't even like us and we're putting all this money into him and we're this and that, but he don't even feel us like his preference. And if he could get white women in his audience, would he really even be tripping for looking at us anymore? Interesting questions. And ones that I think Black women have to talk to themselves about. I don't think she's far off in that. I do believe a lot of Black males come out and perform desire. And they'll say, hey, I love all Black women. They'll even date Black women. You know what I'm saying? For you, they'll have a group of Black women that they date. They trope along. He likes all kind of women. Yeah, I definitely believe this happens a lot in the entertainment industry. And I definitely think there's a targeting of Black women to make Black women, and Black women, after they feel that sense of a rejection, like we've given. Well, of course, you wouldn't. I would think you would find us attractive, but I think those you have to. Like she said, I don't say be dubious of Black men. I say be dubious of certain types of Black men who have something to sell you. Okay, that's what I would say. Y'all like Carlotta? You have favorites? Yes, I do. Okay. You say, look at Usher. Well, Usher's had how many? Well, he had one Black wife, or now he's got hey, I mean, sometimes you just happen to fall in love. Okay. Maxwell. Okay. Lenny Kravitz. He married Lisa Bonet, but he has had a number of what's it? A lot of white women since. Has he? But he actually, he got a weird dating history. He was his first love was Tisha Campbell. He's kind of interesting, Gemini. I don't know. Gemini's like who they like. They kind of mind people. I don't know. That's what would I say? A variety of people. I don't know. Has he dated Black American women? I don't think I've ever seen Maxwell with this. I think all had different backgrounds. Like they've all, I think, had. Who was there any Black American? Let's see. There's who is I. Well, there's a couple of models, but I think one was like Canadian and one was the other one African? That darker girl? I don't know. There's like been 2 or 3. I don't know if has there really ever, I don't know. That's the interesting thing. Yeah, he has a majority of Black American woman audience. but he also lives in New York. So the dating pool, what is the dating pool like? How likely is he to date? I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I don't know. Have I ever seen one put up in the forefront? I know maybe it's something we probably just I don't know about, right? It's been a mixture of women there. There's been white women, um, black women, but I don't know. It seems like the black women have been with different backgrounds. Um, I don't know. I'm not saying that, here's what I'll say to black women too. This often happens with black American women, especially when there are men that are not all the time. I'm not saying this is Maxwell. Please don't write me. Please don't get mad at me. Don't say this. I'm not saying this, but I'm saying that there are men who sometimes come from certain spaces in different cultural backgrounds, and their families put pressure on them not to date American black. Okay. Because they have these, even though we are the culture and our music has been throughout the world and all these things and this and that, but also these images of us have went out throughout the world, good and bad. Okay. And people tend to think sometimes a lot of people from the diaspora come over here and they don't necessarily want their children to, even though they're the same color of skin as you, but they have a different background. They don't want their children. They act just like white people sometimes. They don't want their kids to marry you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a very interesting thing. I don't, culturally, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, if that's the, but yes, white women, remember y'all got mad about the white girl. Some of y'all say he married that white girl. Some people really believe he married her. I don't know if he did or not. I never say, Maxwell is such a secret guy. He may have gotten married and divorced and don't nobody know. Shit. But a lot of y'all told me, a lot of people have told me they thought Maxwell married that white girl. I didn't, for real. I just heard this a few weeks ago. I was at somewhere, we was having a discussion, and it was some bloggers, and they told me they thought he married her. I was like, interesting. I've never seen it. Have you seen a marriage certificate? But I think he's so mysterious that people tend to think that. I have friends that don't like. I have friends who stopped liking Maxwell after the Diamante thing. I think they just didn't like him. They thought he. My friends who don't like him anymore told me they thought he showed his true color, his true colors and true preference. I disagree with that. I don't know if I believe that. I just don't. But I think I have friends who's like, no. They just like, I can't stand it. I won't buy that. Stuff like that. And they became very angry about that whole thing. Even when that's one of my friends, when I had told her about the Sabrina Claudio, she was like, that figures. Okay. But I just don't think, my personal opinion, no. I think he likes a variety of women. And because you're introduced, you're in spaces that there are not a lot of, due to poverty in America, especially among Black Americans. A lot of times we're not in those spaces unless you're at a club or a party and stuff like that. They frequent very high end, and they have access. There are so many other types of women from all over the world who globally sometimes have more access and financially than Black American women do. And that is a whole other thing that people say, well, Carlotta, Black American women tend to date a lot of, if they do date celebrities, they meet celebrities and stuff. Either they're already in the industry, they're rappers, because rappers tend to hang outside of, where they normally don't. But sometimes this happens with rappers too. I think that you're just not in those spaces sometimes with the men to compete also. Does that make sense? Am I giving Black men slack? I don't know. But I do find the questions about Chris Brown very interesting, and I don't slight them. I can't say anything to that. My personal opinion is that is a whole nother ballgame about Chris Brown, because I do believe they're trying to shoot Chris Brown out of the Black women segment. Now, Black women, you built him up, but you'll get to see in the next few years if they put this money behind him and he gets bigger, You will get to see what happens if he has a white female audience, where how he engages you in the next 10 to 15 years if this happens for him, okay? Because I can tell they're trying to move at a certain pace with him, okay? But yeah, interesting, okay? All right, so this week, y'all, Young Thug been out here. I don't know how Young Thug didn't know. They tape every jail phone call. Most criminals I know don't tell you nothing over no phone. They don't tell you nothing over phone. Because they don't. I mean, criminals. Real criminals like Young Thug, I mean, alleged criminal like Young Thug should know. The feds is always listening at your calls. So why is you talking? It just doesn't make any sense to me, okay? But this week, y'all saying Lady Whistledown, aka Young Thug, aims at Future in jail. Young Thug drags him for being a deadbeat dad and says Future is locked in with the women and not his key.
Doing that in there. Ain't nobody getting nothing but goddamn Pluto. He definitely do it. She probably done killed some of his babies, for sure. She probably done aborted some of his babies, for sure. 100%. For sure. He done took that bitch. Man, we went to Dubai one year. He took that bitch to Dubai with her. Her and Brittany, her and the baby mama. Yeah. I know for sure she don't have some abortion.
Yeah. And the other one, I heard he all the way burnt out.
Well, definitely.
Like the worst way.
I guess the crazy part is when I became a superstar, I stopped none of them bitches when I became a superstar. I started being like, bitches, I know a bitch gonna try to trick me. I stopped none of them hoes when I became a superstar. These niggas start none of them hoes when they become a superstar. I did it the backward way, like.
Shit, that's how they get their money. I don't know. I know a lot of bitches that done aborted his kids, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Like a lot too.
For sure. Arabia did. That nigga nuts in Arabia, man. Tripping.
What do he be thinking? I don't understand sometimes. Like,
but
what?
That can't come out of there. That shit said he ain't nigga like that can't come out of this motherfucker. Oh. Yeah.
Young Thug need to talk
38, 39, all the kids grown. I'm just smack straight young shit and none of them hoes. Fuck it. Just I'm gonna play a rich shit. That shit it's really fire, but it ain't. It should be just like one or two girls like Bob Marley, you know. Bob Marley, well, he had a lot of baby mamas too though. But he was more like a real father too though. You know what I'm saying? Pluto got to like settle down and really just be with all the kids. People went looking at Bob Marley like, ew, you got 15 kids. You got 25 kids. I think Bob Marley got like 25 kids. People weren't looking at him like he was bad because he was like a real father. He was just like super there and just being a super that, being whatever the best he could be. So women, he wasn't like disgraceful to women. Women wanted to have his kids. Pluto is like, you pushing the P, bitches want to have your kids and shit too, but you still got to be like 100% locked in with the kids. You like 100% locked in with the bitches. That's the wrong way to go.
Well, he ain't lied. Shit, Young Thug ain't wrong. Pluto, I found it interesting. He called him Pluto. He's a Scorpio male. He is. Future does exhibit what Scorpio males exhibit when they are in dark form. I totally agree with Young Thug. I mean, now how he didn't know people wasn't taping him is crazy. But listen, I mean, and Bob Marley, it wasn't good too. Did Bob Marley? I mean, I would say that Bob Marley was partly a good father because Rita was there. Rita was keeping even the illegitimate Rita was. Let me tell you something. I can't say enough. Listen here, Rita Marley's the only one in history that I will say okay to. She said okay to all the side chicks because let me tell you something about Rita. Okay, Rita in the end was the estate. Bob didn't say, I'm gonna leave something to the kids, I'm gonna leave something here. Bob left everything to Rita. Okay. And Rita has been a G. I don't know if the Marley kids would even say Bob was probably that they were probably, from what I've heard in the back, Rita would get a lot of love because Rita was that glue, even for the illegitimate ones. That's fucked up. As a woman, that's just some fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was sometime his background singer, allegedly, and had to tell him, well, don't mess with her tonight. Don't do that. But you married to this motherfucker. Girl, some of the shit she took. See, I couldn't be me. That Scorpio. I'd be like, yeah, I don't see her tonight. Yeah, do what you gotta do. Shit, you better be watching. I tell you, go and see. I'm singing background and being helping you write songs and write hits and write music and stuff like that. And we married, and you out here. And I tell you, I'm saying, go ahead. You better be looking for me because I tell you what, I might burn the shit. I'm a Scorpio. I might act a fool. I'll try the Phoenix. I'm gonna try the Phoenix. First, I'm gonna try the Phoenix, but God knows, God said, that food can't be in nothing like this. That food will set a house. I will act not you being disrespectful. You and your little peace sleep with one eye open because you might wake up. All your shit be on fire. I ain't going to jail for nobody. But I will tell you this, it will not be a pretty day. Okay, I'll be setting you up. If I'm saying something like that, I'm setting you up. I'm setting you up for something. I'm setting you up for some divorce. I'm setting you up to sell this story to these blogs with you in bed with this girl. You ain't about to disrespect me. Rita was a G. That's why I said Rita was one of the most power. I don't know how she did all that with Bob Marley. I know she wanted to jack his ass up time too. Hey, listen, right? But yeah, what Future is doing out here ain't cute, and this is why Sierra was where she at. Sierra was actually engaged to Future, supposed to be getting married. Remember, Sierra was on the wedding cover, the cover of the wedding. Sierra was planning on having a Future. She was trying to avoid. She even became friends with his other baby mamas because, she was like, I'm going to be a stepmom, sister. And this mother, he couldn't stop. I think that's the reason why. I don't know, but she said she couldn't take, she left before it went crazy. But I'm going to tell you something. Notice he went crazy after her. He must have loved her something deep. Usually when it's Scorpio and Scorpio, they got some sort of bond, okay? And Sierra just got tired of the bullshit. Let me tell you something about Scorpios, okay? Scorpios are forever patient. We are patient as we can be, but don't fuck with us. We will wait you out. We will be patient. We will wait through your issues. But that comes with a price, because what happens is once a Scorpio is done, don't let it done. Don't let it snap. Don't let it snap where we start looking at you and be like, we put our spiritual glasses on and we be like, start to see we start looking really and investigating the flaws we know been there. And we start letting those flaws convince us that you ain't shit. It's hard to get a Scorpio back at that point. Okay. And Scorpios will wait and wait and wait. Tick, 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 tick. You'd be like, man, yeah, it's wrong time right there. Scorpios say, okay, tick, tick, tick. But once I'm gonna tell you something. When you do a Scorpio like that, Scorpios will either the price gonna be higher, or they gone. And Sierra did it so crazy. See, So you can't fool with another Scorpio. Another Scorpio will do some shit. Okay, what Sierra do? Not only did Sierra didn't just take her love, she took your child. Got a man who loved that kid like he's supposed to be loved, loving that child like he's that child's father. Even though I wouldn't have gave him Russell's last name. That's my personal. This is my. I understand why she did it, but I wouldn't have done that because it is what it is. Your dad is who your dad is. Okay, but I understand that too. I'm not mad at what she did, but she didn't actually take Future's name off of it. She's his name, Future's name that from they say is still on there. She just added Wilson so he wouldn't feel apart from the family, and I respect that. I understand that, but and Russell loves him so much that he loves him like he's his own. And let me tell you something: you want to fuck up a Scorpio male, that's gonna fuck up Scorpio male. Even if he a dead, be dead. He don't like Future don't like looking over there at not only the love of his life gone. But she over there with your baby, and she done upgraded. She done downgraded all. And now she done had, she done 4, 5 kids in with him? Oh, damn. Oh, see, that's what that's Scorpio shit. Sierra said, bitch, try me, okay? Try me. You got me crying in the shower one too many fucking times. Try me. Sierra said, she said the Sierra's prayer. I said, Sierra was like that. Try me. Oh, you think I can't? You think what's the song with Lizzo say? He act like he can't be replaced. Okay, that's Sierra. He act like he can't be replaced. Huh. All right, watch this. Watch it, baby. Plot twist. I'm doing great. That's Scorpio, baby. We the Phoenix. Now y'all say, well, why the Scorpio melting up? Because he was the one doing the dirt. So he got to take the karma. He ain't liking it. He ain't liking it. It ain't been good for him. Even though he been making more money, it just ain't good. He hated it. Okay. But if he really do some forgiveness of himself and co-parent with her and Russell, I think he would be great. I think he would appreciate what Russell Wilson has done. And he may learn some great things from him instead of being angry and jealous at the ugly parts of the Scorpio trait hit him. But let me tell you something, baby. That Scorpio Sierra had enough. Okay, don't ever let a Scorpio get enough. It's 2 things you don't do with Scorpios. Wear out their patience or make us jealous. Oh no, we don't like that shit out. We see you, we be looking at you right over. We see you trying to make somebody jealous. Scorpio see that shit from a mile away, like, We laugh at that shit. That shit's funny to us because we know. See, we got to laugh or keep from. I'm a Scorpio that it's hard to make. I am a different Scorpio. I have Scorpio friends. Like I had a dark scarred, one of my besties was the dark scarred side of Scorpio. She was really dark and she was a businesswoman, a straight businesswoman by day, executive, everything. But she was dark as fuck. And she did not play. She was jealous of any little thing. She ain't like nobody playing in her face. Now she type, she burn your house down and shit like that. She crazy, okay? But now, me, I have a lot of Libran traits. I have the ability to balance the scales. It takes a lot to make me jealous. But if you do, it ain't pretty. And it's not what you think it is. It becomes, I don't burn down your house. I don't got time for that. Who does that? No. You know, there are more intelligent ways that Scorpios can make you pay for things like that. There are. There are, you know. So and Sierra did one of them. Sierra did that. You think Sierra did one? Think Sierra didn't hurt her ass to leave with that baby? And Future over there acting a fucking fool, getting probably out of these streets. She did a video with him, just crawling to him, doing all the seductive dances. Because you know that stuff. Well, you know with that Scorpio, it was hot over there. That's where I was laughing because I said that Sagittarius is petty as hell. Russell Wilson, when they was asking Russell on one of the shows, they was asking him what made him, when did he know Sierra was the one? He said, "Oh, I saw her in that body video and she smiled." And I was like, "That's my girl." I said, "That's the one where she doing that seducing dance for Russell Wilson." I mean, for a Future. Oh, you savage. He was like, I was part of your girl right there. I was like, I'm gonna get that girl. Okay, listen, let me tell you something, okay? That Scorpio meant business, okay? Sierra looks all innocent now and stuff, but Russell Wilson, but that Scorpio was like, bitch, watch this. See, he didn't understand. I think Future didn't understand you're dealing with another Scorpio. It's another Scorpio there, Future. She's not gonna be locked like the other girls that you can lock up with the sex stuff. She likes it, but Scorpios get to thinking, and you can't make no fool of us. So that's like people were talking about Mariah the Scientist with Young Thug, because she is a Scorpio. And he been out there in the other videos, like it's more stuff that came out, like he been cheating and stuff with her on, and talking about having babies with side baby. You can't do. See, her patience probably done wore thin already. She's out. She must. When you get Scorpios, when you start embarrassing Scorpios, oh no, we ain't not playing the games. You're not gonna be embarrassing us out here. You know what you ain't gonna do. We give you all the chances in the world, but when you start acting a fool, baby, we ain't putting up with it. So that's what that's why Sierra moved the way she moved. Okay, she had to. Okay, she had to save her life and her child's too. All right, so let's see what's another. Okay, Melanie. Speaking of Scorpios, Melanie was out this week, and Melanie from Love in Huntsville, Love in Alabama. She's formerly of Love Huntsville in Alabama, and Melanie got some tea. She's throwing out here about her ex-husband Martell Holt. Now her and Martell been done for many years, but this shit's still going on. You see this Capricorn and this Scorpio is still out here fighting because the Capricorn can't let go. This Scorpio having a hell with this Capricorn. She having hell. I'm scared actually for Melody because I always felt this kind of energy was going on with Martell. And if it's true, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? But oh my God, what she had to say this week is pretty deep. So this is from the Neighborhood Talk. It says, Melanie Sheree comments on harassment from her ex-husband, Martell Holt, recalls alleged incidents where he punched her, pulled a gun, and threatened to end her life. Says, LA says, Love Alabama, caught it, captured some abusive moments that never aired. Interesting. Now I have my own thoughts on Melanie before I play this tape, okay? I do believe her in terms because I felt that Martell had that, this is just my opinion. I felt that Martell had the energy because of how he was moving when she started the divorce, because he didn't think she would ever divorce him. He thought them 4 kids was going to keep her ass there. But she a Scorpio, again, like little baby Future didn't keep Sierra there. And them little kids ain't gonna keep no Scorpio. Scorpios will bounce on your ass, okay? You after a while, especially playing them for so long. But people say, Carlotta, do you believe the girlfriend that said Melanie talked to her and stuff? Yes, I do. I know Melanie says no. I don't believe that, okay? I believe that Scorpios like Melanie. Here's my thing. I think that the show was Martell's last chance. I think Melanie has a Scorpio, if she would ever admit it, knew that she already knew allegedly that Martell was cheating with this other woman for many years. And I think Melanie goes, here's an opportunity here. Because this is how Scorpios think. You know what I'm saying? We're 8th house, baby. Baby, 8th house. Death, taxes, love, power, sex, everything. Okay? Let me put the 8th house. Other people's money, 8th house. So Melanie's like, this is a great opportunity. I not only get to build the business and everything, but in her subconscious of conscious, I think she says, okay, Martell's out here acting a fool. Through Melanie's voice, Martell's out here acting up, and Martell's out here doing the most, and he's, you know what I'm saying, he ran around with this other one. Okay, I'm gonna go on this reality show, and if he want to save his marriage, you want to save his family. We'll see how he acts. But I think in the root of her, she knew that he was gonna act a fool. Because Scorpios, we be knowing. We be knowing when we don't know. But we like, this is an opportunity. Sort of like Kris Jenner with Bruce Jenner. Hey, they said Kris allegedly might have known he was a little bit of a cross-dresser, but Kris said, okay, you say you ain't gonna cross-dress no more? Okay. I believe you, because you an opportunity, because you Bruce. I'm telling y'all, Scorpio, because we see opportunity. We will try to see, we will see your potential and your opportunity for us too. Okay, so Scorpio looking at him saying, all right, Martell, we can make our own this show, Martell. Melanie became the star of Love in Huntsville, Alabama. Martell, me and Martell, honey, we ain't going through much. Melanie became the full Nene Leakes to Love in Huntsville, Alabama, okay? But what even made her more of a star is that she was dealing with this bad marriage. Oh, Scorpio, you knew. I did not know. I can hear her saying it. No, I believe this Scorpio subconsciously knew that she was going to drag the fuck out of Martell on national television. Either you're going to be a good man or you're going to take this dragon. The whole world's going to see what you are. And I think that's what she did. I won't say she did it. I say he did it to himself because he wasn't able to rise to the occasion that she was hoping he would. And he did exactly what she thought, and she was prepared for it. Now she got caught up with that baby, but that baby's so cute. But child, shoot, that didn't stop Melanie Sheree. Melanie Sheree sent them papers. Took that company, took that money. Oh, this Scorpio. Listen here, let me tell you something. Don't play in Scorpio's faces. Bruce played up in Chris's face. But my opinion, excuse me. My opinion is that Bruce played up in Chris's face to act like he ain't a crossroads. So Scorpio says, okay, if you want to be a bitch, you're going to come out on this show. I'm going to bring her. I'm going to bring Chris. What's her name? What he is now? I forget what he is. Caitlin. I'm going to bring Caitlin's ass up out here, okay? That's what Scorpios do. What she started doing. Y'all thought she was emasculating him on that show. No, she was bringing Caitlin out. Oh, okay, you're going to play in my face. You're going to act like this is real, okay? You got me out here. And, you know, at least me and my family, we can make a profit off of this, okay? But you going to come out. Oh, we will make your ass come out, okay? We will be like, come out. We will provoke until you start being the bitch you are. Caitlin? Yeah. What? Bruce couldn't help it no more. Bruce had to be Caitlin. And Bruce didn't know what happened. He was like, he was kind of blaming Chris, but he couldn't. Chris was just, he knew he had there was a lot of stuff going on here. And the most thing is Chris was brokenhearted. And I think the same thing for Melanie. Melanie was so brokenhearted because she loved the shit out of probably Martell. She wouldn't have had them 4 babies if she had. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She kept, and she even gave him 1 more baby. Because Melanie's a business girl, so I could tell that giving that all that baby up stuff, that she was serious about it. So she's so brokenhearted that it had to come to that. And once the duty was done and the everything was done, Melanie exited that show. Scorpio shit 101. Let's take a listen at Melanie talk about this relationship with Martell. And this is what the neighborhood talk is saying. It's saying, neighbors, this is a mess. Melanie Sheree had a lot to say after a recent run-in with her ex-husband after a court appearance. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Crazy. Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, you guys are not. Hold on. You guys, okay, I didn't have the tab up for you guys. So you guys can hear it, but you couldn't see it. So let me put it started back over so you guys can see it, okay?
All right. That's me.
Who are you talking to?
Okay, let me start it
Both
back
of y'all.
over.
Who is both of y'all?
You and your man Jason. You and your man, your boyfriend.
Okay, here we go. So we can start. I'm sorry, y'all.
What about that part? My address got released to the public
by way of my children's father. So then I had to do a text. Hey, not sure if you're available or not, but this just happened. Is there any way, I'm afraid, is there any way that you can come to my house, sit out there, like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm scared, okay? That's how that happened. So in that whack-ass interview, are you sending my address because you sent a police report that had my address on it. But see, what you didn't do is show my report of that same day when you pulled that pow out on me and said that you would take me out and you already thought about it and decided you would. You ain't show that side of the police report, boo-boo? Because I got it. I've been quiet for a long time. My people have seen it. So for all the women who be on here caping and capping, why don't y'all give them some help? You love them that much. Why don't you do that? Because y'all weak hoes, that's why. And if you think I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. You want to show the report, the part of the report is, or the video of you recording me after you've done all this stupid shit to me and now I'm on your ass. You want to show that, or you took my money that you weren't supposed to take, and then you want to pick up your phone and record. You want to show that part, but you don't want to tell all the other stuff. What about the time when you punched me? What about that part? Because I still got receipts for that too. So what's up? I am not in any shape, form, or fashion, covering, providing cover, trying to make you this, that, or the other in no shape, form, or fashion. What about the time whenever we was in Vegas on vacation filming and you threw pillows at me, hitting me in the face with them, but they cut that out. They didn't air that. What about that? The footage is there. Why they didn't air that? Why they didn't air? Give me something soft. Why they didn't air this right here? Stand right here. I don't want to hurt you. Let me get some soft stuff. So I can give them an idea. Why they didn't air that? Because they definitely air me throwing the glass at your ass. But why they didn't air whenever you in Vegas, whenever we was in there in that room, before everybody started running in from the pool, what's going on? What's going on? And we standing there in that room and he doing this right here, and this right here, and this right here to me with pillows. Why they didn't air that? See what I'm talking about? So don't ask me no more why I'm not going back to shit. Don't ask me. Do not ask me. I'm no longer interested in financing my own abuse. Okay? To get back to where I was walking, they had to drive all the way around, come back to come where I am to let their window down to do this.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, I thought you said. Who you talking to? That's me. Who you talking to?
No, I said both with him.
Both of y'all. Who is both of y'all?
You and your man, Jason. You and your man, your boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Jason, your boyfriend.
Okay, so now you're trying to tell me who my man is. But first of all, if it was, why would you be concerned? Like, you in the whole car with a whole supposed to be my man. Like, I don't understand how you could sit there and think that it's okay for a man that you call your man to be pressed about their ex. This 5 years an ex.
Ooh, it's been that long.
That's why I said, boo, you slow. Because ain't no way. Now, here we go. I'm playing one more time. Here, do it, Canadians. Here we go. Drove back around to where I am.
Fix your face, fix your hair at the same time. Don't look at me like that. It's over with now.
Who are
you? It's over with now. Both y'all. Oh, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, I thought you said. Who you talking to? Who you talking to?
No, I said it's over with now.
Both of y'all. Who is both of y'all?
You and your man, Jason. You and your man, your boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Jason, your boyfriend.
And I'm like, I'm so calm. I'm like, who you talking to? Who? Because he just told me something crazy. Oh, I ain't talking to you. I saw that. That's when I said, who you talking to? I'm still calm, y'all. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? Because remember, you just said, oh, it's over with now. It's over with now. What does that mean? What, that I just let you take a plea deal? What does that mean? It's over with now. Okay? So no, I'm not ignoring anything. Let the record show. Let the record show. Let history show.
Yes.
What about the time when you punched me?
Okay, I believe Melanie, and I have said this from the beginning. That first season when he lost control of Melanie, and I think he realized that Melanie, the Scorpio energy, she was smart. She did it right. He did not. It's not her fault that you didn't use the show, Martell, to become a man. You didn't use the show to be right to your wife. You and to let the other young lady go. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. That she and the fact that she knew you was gonna play it out crazy, that's not her fault. That's your fault. You just gave her the ammunition she needed to show who you showed your ass. You showed who you was. Okay. And I just believe that's just a natural trait to Scorpios. Scorpios gonna bring it out. We gonna bring it out. We gonna bring it out. Now I'm scared for her because he's been exposed and he don't like it. He done lost his wife. He done lost his family. He done lost, now he's out here with Ariane, which he doesn't really want to be. He called that girl a peasant at one time on national television. And that and he really hate he done messed up. So he can't stand that there's a possibility. Excuse me, y'all. It's a possibility that she may end back in getting another relationship with another man. And his children, he do not like that. And I think Melanie is my personal opinion. She could be in danger. Especially, what was he talking about when he said it's over for you? It's over now. Talking about you and your boyfriend. What are you talking about? That sounds threatening. If I'm Melanie, I'm taking that straight to the court and try to get something done. That's after the court. He pleaded allegedly guilty for harassing her. What? This is like she said, she's been 5 years out of that marriage. And see, Melanie cut the last string that connected them besides the kids connect them, but she cut that big thing, which is love and hip hop and love in Alabama, which eventually Melanie knows if they don't get another Melanie, that show ain't gonna work. And he gonna be without money. So he's feeling isolated and crazy now. Okay. So I just hope for her. I wish for her the best. It's sad to see this, but I'm not surprised. Okay. Melanie, I think Melanie did that show as an opportunity for them to get it together, but I think she knew what the situation was. And she gave Martell opportunity on that show. She showed up at counseling. But he couldn't do it. What did he do? He went out and got his side chick fucking pregnant on national TV. You think you're gonna embarrass us like that? You think you're gonna embarrass us like that? That's why we knew we put your ass on TV, because we knew you was gonna fuck up like that. Oh yeah. See, even with a Scorpio, we don't want to know. We trying to not know. We trying to not know. We trying to not know, but we know what we know. So we put you in a situation that'll tell us. That's what I tell people all the time. Kris Jenner. That's what Kris Jenner did. Kris Jenner knew that time. That reality show wasn't just for Kim and them. That's for Bruce too. Let's see that. Let's see what you do, Bruce. Okay, so and it gave her the greatest truth of her life. She's still mad at that. I remember they was asking her about that on one of the shows. I was like, she looked like, but that's because she really loved Bruce. There's some part of her that loved Bruce. So, and so that's the same thing with Melanie. Melanie loved Martell at one time, and Martell played in her face. Okay. Y'all can't be playing. I tell y'all leave these Scorpios alone. I'm telling y'all, Sierra, Chris, Melanie. They crazy. All right, you guys. She's like, Carlotta, you a Scorpio. I'm telling y'all, don't be messing with us like that. Okay, let's see. What do I have to? Let's see here. I think we're coming down to our last couple of stories, y'all. So, okay. Did we talk about Kelly? We already talked about Kelly Price. We had a whole thing on Kelly Price. We ain't got time for Kelly Price, okay? Okay, Charlie Sheen says he was probably a sex addict after spending $53,000 on prostitutes. This is from It's On Site TV. They said, sleeping with men. It came with tremendous amount of extortion. Okay.
Right.
From hiring sex workers.
Right.
You testified against Hollywood Madam Heidi Fleiss. You admitted you spent $53,000 for her services.
Well, that's what they knew of.
Yeah,
that's what they had on the book. So,
but do you think you were a sex addict?
I mean, sure, probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if to frame it like that, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you say sex went hand in hand with your drug use.
It did, yeah.
And wanting to try, as you framed it, quote, other side of the menu, which for some people out there, man, what's the other side of the menu? That's sleeping with men. But you said you're being honest about it now. But why did you keep it secret for so long?
Sure. Yeah. Because there was another element to it that it did come with a tremendous amount of extortion. And so at the time I was just like, all right, let's just pay to keep it quiet and just hope it just stays over there, make it go away, just make it go away. And then,
so you were just paying people not to.
Yeah, because they would have had videoed things or whatever and had stuff over me, so that was kind of held hostage, and it's just that's a bad feeling. But again, that's not what I led with. I just led with, all right, people talked about this and this thing and whatever, and so I just need to be free of that, and then see how the world feels if people know that stuff. Because I've written a story all these years about, oh, geez, if I ever reveal that, then this has to be how I'd be dealt with, how I'd be treated, how they'd feel.
In 2015, Sheen publicly revealed that he was HIV positive.
That was a tremendous relief. That felt like, okay, all right, there's that. Now I can focus on some other things.
That was 10 years ago.
That was
Wow. So Charlie Sheen has come full circle. He's come clean about his life. A lot of us knew. See, Charlie Sheen was running around there. He was hypersexual male, again in Hollywood, running around. Everybody thought Charlie Sheen was a big hoe. Come to find out, he was not only just a big hoe with women, he was allegedly messing with men too. He said he had a sex addiction, which often what happens doesn't mean you necessarily are gay, but your sexual addiction starts to get, it's like drugs. You want something a better high, so you do all kinds of things to get that high, even things you wouldn't normally do. Sex with males, all kinds of things. That's why I say hypersexuality for men and women is usually gonna lead you into some places that you normally wouldn't go. And he is HIV, he a positive, which he talks about. Okay. So yeah, very interesting. And he talks about how it was a relief because a lot of people were trying to blackmail him and stuff behind that. Okay. So sometimes it's just what Charlie Sheen is showing is sometimes it's okay to just tell the truth, because sometimes that people gonna come out with it anyway. If you secretly having sex with, you got a sex addiction and you up there having sex with men, and there's a lot of Hollywood males, not all, but it's a lot of them that hypersexuality has changed their sexuality. Okay, so not very interesting and good for Charlie Sheen that he's now out here talking about this. Okay, so let's talk about what else we got. Okay, we got Charlie Sheen. All right, now I talked to you guys about this the other week. We've been talking about how when you're sleeping with lots of people and stuff, you have to be careful about the partners you choose. This was a very interesting thing about destiny swapping. There's a woman who hears a witch, and she's talking about her sexuality and partners and stuff. She says ex-high-ranking witch who worked directly with Lucifer reveals that stealing a person's stars entails. This is from Christ Family Podcast. Okay, let's check it out.
A star can be stolen if you don't mind. What does that mean?
Yeah, a star symbolizes somebody's destiny. For example, Joseph in the Bible, he dreamt when all the stars were bowing before his including the sun and the moon. So these witches have the ability to look at somebody and they read that person's destiny. So what they want from somebody is to steal their energy, their vacuum. And once they take that energy from somebody, the person becomes useless. You see that the person is capable, she's brilliant, maybe she's a graduate, but nothing the person does progresses. It's because sometimes these people who are jealous, they like, especially family members, they can look at somebody and read that this person's future is bright, and they use witchcraft to steal that destiny, and they start progressing at the expense of this person. So this person begins to suffer. Like everything they do doesn't materialize into something meaningful. Whereas the other person who stole their destiny, the more this one is suffering, the more they progress. Yes.
Come on.
Yeah. So you find that in a family, there is a sibling who stole someone's destiny. Maybe she's a member of parliament somewhere, and she keeps coming back to the village, giving empty promises. I'll educate your son, I'll educate your daughter, and then time for students to go back to school, you call them and they tell you, no, I wanted to, but my dog fell sick or something happened, something to make you feel annoyed, This is my sister, she has the money. And when you tell your friends that member of parliament is my sister, they say, stop lying.
Oh my God, Erica, yes.
Yeah, so they steal destinies. So my grandmother had trained me to do that. She told me, if you find a brilliant man and you can read the star and know that this man is having a bright destiny, when you get into their lives, take everything and move on. Because you're supposed to lead. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to excel. And men want to have dominion over women. So if you allow yourself to submit to him, your dreams, your career, everything is going to be buried. So you have to go to school, work hard, sharpen your mind. And when you have what it takes, those men will be like your servants. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's why you see these days women are marrying men. Yeah. And that's
not
the
the
trend.
other way
Not the
around.
other way around. Yeah. And the enemy is promoting it because he's fighting the order of God. And that's why you see men are running away from being men. They want to be women. Yeah, because women have been branded as victims and the men have been branded as the oppressors.
A star can be stolen if you don't mind. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay, they call it stealing your stars, stealing your destiny. And what I found very interesting is sometimes I think people do these type of things and they don't know they're doing them. I found it interesting. Like she said, she would find a brilliant man or somebody that was highly intelligent and everything like that, get with him. And she said she stole everything and then, steal his energy, everything, move on. Because that's what, like, the high priestess, it just depends on what type of high priestess person you are or whatever. And those are what, and then people do that to women too. So it's not when people can marry women or date women or something like that come into your life and destinies are broken. And sometimes I think people know they're doing it. So, but this woman said she knew what she was doing. Her grandmother it sounds like was a high ranking witch and taught her how to, just like this other girl's grandmother I played last week, who had taught her to do the same thing. And they would call it, dumbing down a man or downing. I forget what the exact word they use. But a lot of times, even you will have family members who will see your destiny and destiny swap you. So you will see so look in your life. If you've been having, like she said, you will have someone that's very highly intelligent. She or he meant well, and she said they might be promising you to do this and do that, but then you come back. Then it comes time for them to do it and they can't do it. And they're like, oh, I can't come perform at your thing because my dog died or this happened and this and that. And you'll think they're lying, but really it's somebody has created energy around them to make their lives bad, to make them not progress. And the worse they do, the better the person on the other side who is doing the witchcraft is doing. So even be aware with this with your family members. Your family can be putting this kind of stuff. She said they do it in families. Families can see your destiny and try to destiny. Ooh, y'all, listen here, okay? Very powerful stuff. Some of y'all got to quit looking at your family members as innocent. Sometimes you might be looking at them, they might be dealing in some high ranking witchcraft and trying to destiny swap with you, trying to steal your shit. You might be they might be energetically stealing from you. Oh my God, this is so powerful. And I very powerful. Okay, not only do people do this in relationships, but they do this in friendships and marriages. Okay, so that's why you gotta be highly discerning about who you let into your life. Okay, and who you give access to you. Okay, that's just my personal opinion on that. All right. Wow, crazy. Okay. Okay, our last story, I think. Oh, so it's kind of actually our last question of the night. Okay. Okay, so this was interesting. Women, they said this was on Welcome to the Culture, a website, and they said man asked bro asked our women, who would you prefer, a rich man that cheats or a loyal poor man? Shaking my head, they said the majority answered in favor of the cheat. Okay, so let's take a listen to what these women said on this. Okay. Okay, so a lot of the women said they would choose a rich Dusty over a broke Dusty. Okay, because it can be rich Dusties too. Okay, listen, here's the thing. This is why most of those males who have wealth and money act the way they do. Because women are like, you got the bag. I don't really give a shit what you doing. You be on one end of the house. I told y'all how I loved on Billions. I used to watch not Billions, but on Succession. The father was super rich and he was like in his 80s or 90s and still, he was married, but to his second wife, but he was still out there playing around. And so the wife found the mistress and she said to her, she said, just make sure that you're being tested because I don't want any diseases and stuff at this age and all this stuff. She ran down to the mistress like, you not the only one, calm, you just popped her shit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, first of all, the question is broke. I don't like the word broke. So I would say I wouldn't want neither because you're telling me a broke person. What does that mean, broke? If you're saying a man that doesn't have money and loyalty is very important. Peace of mind is very important. I don't want to look around and find my life being attacked from the inside out because you got somebody that you with that don't know how to like keep his dick in his, you know what I'm saying? It's excuse me. That's a lot to me. I mean, just such a lot. Even though I joke on here and I kid, but it's just so much to deal with that. I mean, And that doesn't mean, I know that sometimes people say, well, I know there are sometimes infidelities happen in marriages and stuff like that. That it is what it is. But at the same time, there to me, um, yeah, I would just say loyalty is more important to me, and especially if it's a person that's a constant. Like people never understand when I say this. I always say there are different value systems that go on in adultery. Some people really, adultery is never good. That's what I'm not saying. It's never good. Okay. But I'm saying that some people have had situations where they fell in love with someone. They're not a constant cheater or something like that. Uh, Things have had crazy. I don't know. I don't want to get into all that, but I'm just saying, but for people who are out here and just can't control themselves, I don't know if you want to be in a relationship with a man that because he has wealth that he doesn't understand. Now, I do understand that the broke man. Now, let me just say this, okay? Broke men have not had the temptation that wealthy men have had, okay? Sometimes you're not cheating because your options are not as the same. Okay. Sometimes people talk about he loyal, girl. And you like, yeah, because he ain't got because his options ain't the same. All of a sudden he get $50 million and you get to really see. $50 million, every kind of hoe come out the woodwork. Hoes come out the woodwork for $200,000. It depends on how you play it. $100,000 how you play it. Okay. But if you get 50 million, you gonna really see. Okay, you gonna really see. As I had, I remember we had this discussion one time at my friend's house during one of our little visits or something, and we were talking about can you trust the loyalty of a if you have two choices, like if Denzel Washington says to you, hey, I want to date you, I want to be with you, and I just want to be with you, and all of a sudden your other person who's been with you for a long time or something like that and is there, stuff like that, who is probably being more honest with the choice, like if they both are sincere about just being with you. And I was saying that's hard. I said because the other person, it depends on is that integrity or is that your options? Lack of option. Like if Denzel is suddenly choosing you and he's saying I don't want nobody else and he's serious about it, Denzel got fucking options out here. Denzel don't got people he can fuck with. Denzel can do all kind of shit. Okay. But if Bob down the street is like, yeah, I want to be with you, I'm gonna be faithful, is that because his options are limited or because is he really a guy with integrity? So you can't say it's broke men who cheat too. But they said, do you want a broke man who's loyal or a rich man who's cheating? Okay. I don't want neither. Okay. I want the loyalty of a person who is not broken. Okay. I don't like the word broke. Okay. Let's say a person who's if you're saying in between finance, okay, that's a different story. Okay. But nobody wants a disloyal person. Okay. But I do often say that disloyalty hasn't been tested in a lot of men who don't have money. Ooh, I'm gonna get some flack for that one. But I would say that loyalty hasn't been tested a lot of times, not all the time, a lot of time in men who don't, like if you're Lenny tonight, Lenny has been battle tested. Okay. Lenny's had hoes everywhere. Okay. But your faithful man that you with, you like, oh girl, he's so faithful, he's so loyal to me, he love me and all that stuff. Maybe because he ain't got no option. Maybe he got a few at the office, a few here and there, but ain't ones he's like, I ain't getting my wife. But if he had the options of Janet Jackson versus Mariah Carey, it might change. Okay, and the video, he had the Instagram hoes calling him up. The Kardashians coming out. The BBLs. It's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story, okay? You guys, that was the last thing of tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you do when I come on, okay? Thank you for being patient with me. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I hope you laugh. I hope you got something out of it, okay? I've been on this relationship kick a lot because I find it interesting. Everybody, it's so many things out here to talk about and so many interesting theories. So so I'll probably do some next show, maybe some politics or something like that. Okay, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy your week. We're already into September. Can y'all believe how good this is? Crazy. It is moving fast. Before we know it, we'll be at Christmas. It happens so fast. It happens so fast. Okay. But enjoy the now. Okay. Enjoy your now. Guys, have a good one. I am out. And remember, you can hit me up on the Carlotta Chatwood Facebook page for now. You can also hit me up on Carly's_Galaxy, C Chatwood Show, and Carlotta 72 on X. And TikTok is Keisha Carlotta. And Instagram is, I said, Carly's_Galaxy. And then there's a link for, what is it? Threads on there, okay? You guys, have a good one. Enjoy your week. I am out, okay? I'll leave y'all with some of this little electric music, okay? See y'all. Bye.